Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning. This is It's a Type of News. I'm Dutch Perman.
I'm the other dude,
Bruce Robinson.
I feel weird calling myself Bruce Robinson now ever since we had a guy named Bruce on the show last time. It just...
But listen. You know, there's always going to be another Bruce. Always.
You know, Bruce Banner.
But
Bruce Barrett. BB. What was BB? Bruce Banner, Bruce Barrett. Maybe that's why he doesn't want the sugar tax to get passed, because, you know, he might get angry. We wouldn't like him when he's angry. Maybe gingerbread won't taste as good.
All of that was terrible. all of it.
He's such a cool guy. I can just see him right now. So,
well, dreadful. All of it. Like all of it. But what we want to speak to you guys about today is this boycott Bermuda hashtag.
The trending hashtag.
Yeah. I understand many of us are disappointed, including us, obviously, by the passage of the domestic partnership bill. But are we really surprised? I mean, we all knew it was...
Of course, we're not surprised.
But the boycott Bermuda thing insinuates that tourists are the ones mostly affected by this. That our reputation is more important than what the actual issue is. The actual issue is that we have Bermudians within our society that cannot get married. Okay, sure.
A small percentage of Bermudians, to the point that it's really not going to matter.
I'm like, okay, sure. So the government gave them the legal rights
inside of Bermuda, but doesn't get recognized outside of the country. So.
Exactly. But regardless of the
I dab when I sneeze.
Yeah, get a leg. Okay? Dang. And get some Xanax. But
I don't think that's
regardless of the legal implications of the domestic partnership bill, whereas they now have certain legal rights they didn't have before, which is a plus, it's the other side of it, which is it's not recognized outside, and the fact that Bermudians now have a secondary arrangement to marriage that's basically a false equivalency for one sector of the community, and not for the other.
Yeah, we've already explained what the domestic violence, my bad. The domestic partnership bill is. What we need to focus on is, I get this a lot. Oh, well, you know, we lost the gay money, but what did we gain? I'm like, a lot of people don't understand it's not just gay money that we lost. First of all, any money lost is money lost. Why would you not want both streams of income? Why you're saying no to millions of dollars, I don't understand. But this is the age, unfortunately I have to say this, this is the age of the social justice warrior, where we've even experienced it, where I said something during our passer or poser episode. I was messaged because I said something that was apparently insensitive to a specific group of people that I didn't even know existed.
Right.
So, that being said, look at the climate in the world right now. What was it that it was a rapper or something that said he would never date a trans man, which is a man that...
Who, Cisco?
No, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he said he would never date a trans person because he's strictly attracted to women. And all of a sudden, oh, you're transphobic and you're this. And I'm just like, that is ridiculous. However, that's how it is. It's stupid. Okay. I'm not say stupid. Let's not get them coming out.
Didn't we just say?
Well, look, because I'm sorry. I'm a very blunt person. I'm sitting there fighting the gay marriage. I'm still getting crap from people. But either way.
Let's put it this way. Regardless of what
you
choose to identify as, you can't force others.
Oh, that's not even close to where I was going with that.
No, but I'm just saying. Oh, just
for clarification.
The fact that you want to just take a hammer to something and smash it.
Who's my favorite god? What does my favorite god have in his hands? The mighty hammer Mjolnir! Have at thee, Joven Gunda! Oh, smash!
Oh, dude. This shit's good, please.
I'm gonna say by the power of Grayskull, but then I realized that's He-Man. Either way. Now, this is the thing. It's not just gay money that we lost. It's all money because in America, where gay marriage is legal, where the majority of our tourists come from, it's like, oh, well, I have gay friends. I'm not going to support a country that doesn't support my friends. Or, oh, I have a gay loved one, or I support gay marriage, so I'm not going to support this country. I got involved in the thread, and the thread had like, what, 10, 20,000 comments on it?
Yeah.
And I was like sworn, because there was a handful of Bermudians in there. Okay, not even handful, there was like 2. Like me and Mike Hind, like fighting off the forces of darkness.
Yeah, it's a few of them. It's a few of them commented on there, but I mean, 200,000 comments is like, wow.
we love you, Mr. Hind. Either way, I came on there and because a lot of the first comment that commented on it was saying that, oh, boycott this shithole island, and I said, do not classify all of us as a shithole nation by the actions of a government that not all of us supported. Now, a lot of PLP supporters are against gay marriage. A lot of OBA supporters are gay. Doesn't matter what side of the political fence you fall on this issue, a lot of people are against gay marriage. Matter of fact, I would go so far as to say that most of the young population is in support of this. So same-sex marriage. But when we hear things like boycott Bermuda, it's extremely demoralizing to us young people that are already struggling with national morale as it is. Because it's like, we are the first and only country to repeal this. So I completely understand boycott Bermuda is coming, because the second CNN and Business Insider and The Guardian got a hold of it. All you saw was boycott Bermuda. Don't come here. There goes my travel destination. This. And not even all these people are gay. Some of these people are like, I'm straight, but I would never go to a country that's not as progressive.
Well,
we were compared to...
Here's the thing, dude. I understand that spiel.
Spiel.
Really good. I personally have recently reflected, and I have looked at the way the world is. Yeah. And I really understand that it's really the boycott itself.
It's an excuse for people to be angry.
It's stupid. Because at the end of the day, okay, who does this really affect? It affects the Bermudians within our country. Mm-hmm. It doesn't affect them.
No.
Like, they can come down here as a married couple. We ain't going to stop you at the airport and say, okay, unmarry yourselves before you step through this point. So, for me, yes, tourism is a major sector of our economy, and of course it brings in a lot of money, but it's honestly not the main issue of this at all, because at the end of the day, America's had cops gunning down black people in the street, and yet blacks still vacation there. It doesn't really.
That's a bit of a different monster to tackle, but
it's really not.
I get what you're saying.
Because at the end of the day, every country has an issue. Every country has a stance that the world doesn't like in certain instances. But yeah, if people want to spend the money there, then they will. It's just that simple. But at the end of the day, the boycott itself is foolish, because it's basically saying a country has made a decision that I don't like, and because of that one decision, I think that the entire country deserves to be plunged into poverty.
Which is what we're trying to say to all the international people that watch this. Like my comment said, do not judge all of us by the actions of a specific government, because frankly, if we judge America by the actions of its government, no one will go there anyway. I mean, you guys' president is a giant angry orange Cheeto. Like, literally, you literally have the dumbest leader. I'd argue that Kim Jong-un's got more brain power. I mean, listen. They're both on the same level. I want a military parade. Let me do the Korean thing. I want a military parade for no reason, because I saw France, which haven't won a war since like 1767, that was 1783, when they helped America win the Revolutionary War, which they wouldn't have won if they didn't get France's help, but whatever, America for the greatest. Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
I think the first thing ITTP needs to buy in our budget is a top-notch lawyer. I do, because we're gonna get sued. We're gonna get sued right over YouTube. I'm telling you.
Well, I don't think you can sue people internationally unless you're like a company or something like that. Can you?
Sued.
Can you sue? Easy, regardless. Actually, no. We're protected by America's First Amendment right to say whatever we want. Either way. Back to what I was saying. I understand that we are the first country to take away gay marriage. I understand we're the first country to give it and then take it away. I also understand that makes people angry. And frankly, that should make people angry, because that is ridiculous. First of all, none of you lot commenting on this thread, none of you lot in these states, none of you lot are more angry about this than we are.
Yeah, because
and I said that because they're like, oh well, no, I don't understand how they can do this. I'm like, brethren, if you really think you're more pissed off about this than I am, you gotta take a better look in the mirror, because we have been sitting there fighting for this thing since what, late 2015?
Yeah. And the main point of it is that the fight wasn't over. Yes,
no, the fight's still not over. We're still fighting for this.
They won the court case, but it was never legislated. No. So therefore, the marriage was still not backed by our constitution, not backed by legislation.
And a lot of people are saying, oh, the Queen needs to do something. The Queen is intervening. First of all, the Queen is against gay marriage, number one.
Because she's a member. She is the head of the church.
And she is the head of the Church of England. Number two, the Queen's power is more of influence and less of actual political weight.
Ceremony.
It's ceremony. We choose what we do. This was don't think that this was England's decision to do. This was us that did this. Stupidly, it was Bermuda. But I think an understanding of a situation would benefit a lot of things, because I understand that in today's day and age, anything that goes against your social justice norm is automatically attacked and besieged upon. But I think that some more research into what happened, why it happened, and some basic, like a basic Google search will tell you exactly what you need to. It doesn't take long. I would just not employ, but like implore. Is that what I'm looking for? Implore. I didn't do so well in school. I would implore that people looking from the outside in would take 5 minutes to do 5 minutes of research and look at why things were done the way that they were done. Bermuda is a majority Christian nation.
Yeah, not only that, but it's just such a millennial thing to do, and this is the drawback of our generation, and that we have
It is a very millennial thing to do.
It's a drawback for us. It's our drawback, because I know we criticize the older generation a lot, but this is one of our biggest drawbacks. Is we enjoy instant gratification. We want things now. We want things fast. And if we don't get what we want, we toss it in the trash. And this is
very impatient.
The boycott is pretty much saying, okay, Bermuda, I wanted this right now, and since you won't give it to me, book right in the trash. But for me, I challenge people to understand that legislation does not define a people. Laws do not define a people. Government does not define a people. If you do not support same-sex marriage, that is your right, and it is all right to support it. However, if the reverse had happened, I would hope that we would be able to handle that, because if they did pass same-sex marriage and the opposite people were saying boycott Bermuda, it's still the same premise. It's still wrong, because at the end of the day, it's going to be decisions made that one side is not going to like. I still love my people. Just because you don't support same-sex marriage doesn't mean that I hate you.
It's a difference in ideology.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, ideology is what makes a man. No,
True.
Not constitution, not even really nationality.
But we can. Another problem with today's day and age is we can't disagree on an issue without
disrespecting
each other. You can't politely disagree on anything. That goes internationally with all these people saying boycott Bermuda. It's like, okay, we get that, but now I would, if I was a gay man in America, I would be the most upset about this if I was saying I would want to get married in Bermuda, which is a hot marriage destination. That's what would make me upset more than anything. I could see it from that angle, because I can understand. Matter of fact, a couple. My best friend wants to get married down here.
Yeah.
Because when we passed it, she was like, me and her, we have a deal that once gay marriage is legal in Bermuda, I get my license to be an ordained minister and I conduct her and her girlfriend's wedding. Which I can't do now. Which upsets me and upsets her. But
wait, you said you get your license?
My license to become an ordained minister to conduct a wedding.
I feel like you burst into flames, really.
It doesn't have to be religious. It's a piece of paper that says, hey, you can legally say these people are married.
Okay.
Just to conduct the ceremony.
Just making
sure. Because they don't want a religious wedding. Now, regardless, she's still coming down here to visit.
Because like for tourists, your rights are not infringed upon.
Yeah.
Like you still are married when you come here. You can still go everywhere, do everything that you want to do that a heterosexual person can do. And the only people whose rights are hurt by this is the people within the country.
And I think if you came down here, you actually would realize that a good bit of the population is actually very progressive thinking. Like, most of the, like, oh, I don't like gay people, those are like those in their houses, like, you know, I'm going to take gay marriage away, yes.
That's how they
unlimited power.
That's not an accurate portrayal.
Of the church?
We'll see. That's it.
Either way. What was I saying? Right, progressive people. I think that, yeah, you'll find that it's, you know, it's a very progressive.
You don't just boycott an entire country based on that. Like, and the thing that a lot of us are doing in this country is, you know, we're focusing on when many people mount an offense against the bill, it's always gay money, it's always tourism, it's always, you know, oh, look at our reputation. But what very few people are really championing, which I would have thought would have been at the forefront of this entire argument, is the people who are hurt within our very borders. The people who now can see that a heterosexual person can get a domestic partnership and get married, whereas a homosexual person can only get one. And the fact that they made it seem like it was all about legality. Like it was all about, oh, the benefits I get in the union. It's just about having what everybody has, because that is equality. If I can go and I can go down 2 doors and one person can go down 1, that's not equal. And that should be at the forefront of why this bill is a farce. And it destroys both marriage and it destroys the hopes of the LGBT community. So it's a failure all around.
But you know what else it is? It's a very... This doesn't happen too much outside of America, but you know, I grew up in the States and majority of my friends live in America, so I have to, you know, keep up with what's going on out there. Everything that's coming out, anything that one, it's a very much the many that are associated with the one are punished for the sin. Okay, example. Remember when H&M put that picture out with that little black boy that said the coolest monkey in the jungle? First of all, I'm just like, that's just some stupid advertising. That's dumb. But what happened in South Africa? They destroyed that H&M. The black activist groups are like, no, this is wrong. Black people in America were like, oh yeah, we need to destroy H&M. We need to do this. We need to mess this up. I'm like, what about all the black people that work at H&M? You're gonna destroy their jobs? What about? And then I even heard from some people, oh well, they shouldn't want to work for a company like that anyway. I'm like, brethren,
you gonna work where you gonna work.
Brethren, you gonna work where you gonna work. Mm-hmm. Like, you mean to tell me you think people? And to bring it back for analogy in Bermuda, you think you think PLP voters that work for Dunkley are going to stop working for Michael Dunkley because he was premier of the One Bermuda Alliance? No!
Oh no. You got bills to pay.
You got bills to pay, bro.
You better believe it.
You better deliver that man's milk.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's how it gets.
And you better, and the people at HM, you better sell them clothes. And another thing, like, remember when the owner of Keurig, the coffee machine, was not Acosta, but I don't know if he was accused of sentences or whatever of sexual misconduct. It was like, oh, stop buying coffee. You gonna tell Americans to stop buying coffee? That's like telling people to stop breathing.
Yeah. It's like, why?
It's everything why
does it always have to be such a roundabout?
Because it's like we go and like we as humans, we have a very bad habit of just launching our aggression at the conglomerative instead of the sins of the one. It's like, okay, I don't want to watch the usual suspects anymore, because every time I see Kevin Spacey, I think little boy rapist. I don't want to watch House of Cards anymore. However, am I now going to say, oh, Usual Suspects was a terrible movie? No, that is one of the best movies ever made. And unfortunately, the star of that movie happened to be...
And I get what everyone's saying.
I get it.
You get the boycott because, okay, you attack somebody's source of revenue, you get their attention. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Let's all stop watching Harvey Weinstein's movies, because... which is like everything.
Boycott Bermuda and we lose tourism, it it affects
It's gonna hurt us.
It's gonna hurt us.
We're gonna feel it.
And the boycott in itself, of course, it makes sense, but it's wrong. Because at the end of the day, Bermudians who are supporting this boycott are going to feel it. And you're telling me that it doesn't make any sense for you to be gassed up by a movement, a global movement, and you are the only one that's going to suffer? Like, so you were saying boycott Bermuda, and you're Bermudian, and then someone in America that's gassing you up or saying, yo, we support you, are they going to send you care packages?
Hell no, they ain't going to send a shit. That's what they going to send. They ain't going to send a diddly shit. But this is the problem. This is the problem.
Jesus.
And this is the more what's the word I want to use? I'm really bad with my words today.
You didn't even start.
I think it's because I'm in a suit. Like my brain thinks I'm smarter than I really am, so it's trying to like overcompensate. Anyway, yeah, I was with Assembly's back in today, and I had Lord, there's a mess in there. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Oh, sweet baby Odin. Sorry, my bad. My bad, old father. Please forgive me. This is the thing. This is the thing. We are being compared to countries that support and put out Sharia law. We are being compared to totalitarian regimes by people that live in a totalitarian regime.
By people who fund the people that support Sharia law.
Yes.
America funding Saudi Arabia.
You know, actually, that's another good point. I spoke to a good friend of mine who she said she did not want to watch Wonder Woman because it's an Israeli actress and she was serving the Israeli military and she doesn't agree with what they're doing in Palestine. This is a clear example of that. This is a perfect example. You don't want to watch Wonder Woman because the main actress is Israeli. Brethren, you are American. Your country does better. Who's funding Israel?
Who put Israel there?
Like,
they took Jew and they plopped them right in the middle of Muslims.
We're not trying to say that America's bad. We're not trying to say anything. What we are trying to say is don't throw rocks in a glass house.
We all live in glass.
We all live in glass houses. Literally, you can see through everybody's house. And the second one of us throws a rock, our house shatters because like we're doing the same crap.
You gotta throw your rock through your glass to hit
someone else's glass,
and then it's gonna go. Yeah. So
and this is the thing, because I told her, I'm like, do you understand how petty that is?
Super petty.
The girlfriend that you are in love with is a part of the occupying force in Afghanistan. Do I have a problem with the United States military? Absolutely not. Do I have a problem with the United States occupation of Afghanistan? Frankly, it's not my business. I'm down there. But you don't see the hypocrisy?
Yeah.
So don't say boycott Bermuda when, as a black man, if I go to America, I am literally afraid for my life because the police that are walking around with M4s are looking at me like I did something wrong.
Ooh, M4?
Oh yeah. When I came into JFK in November, they were sitting there, squatted right up, holding M4s. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah. It's just how it is, you know. In
society.
I mean, you gotta understand that if you're boycotting something, you're only gonna make it worse because the people who you are now launching this attack on, you're trying to boycott Bermuda, is gonna make all the people who are against same-sex marriage even more devout.
It's gonna make them even more emboldened.
And it's gonna make them support the government.
We need to educate people. We need to understand people. I had this conversation yesterday. I was explaining to a good friend of mine, family member of mine, that listen, I understand what you feel about gay people, but what you think is not really what it is. Because when she thinks gay people, she thinks like, you know, people going around riding on rainbows and
yeah.
I'm like, no, I know some majority of the gay men that I know down here. If they didn't say, listen, you know, I like men, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And even more prevalent is all these undercover people down here that most people don't know about. It's like, yeah, all these undercover people trying to take away gay marriage.
Bermuda's definitely very much 20 to 40 years behind America, and we're still in that
in certain aspects.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as our issues, all of our issues, no, they're behind everybody in that issue.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The thing is that all of our social issues, you know, mirror that of, you know, America when you really research it. And really, it's like that fire stage where somebody first discovers fire, and then all these myths and misinformation created about it because no one really understands it. And it's just like homosexuality. Like, it's so many things people laugh at when they hear it, Like, they laugh at the fact that people believe that homosexuals are sexual predators. But this is widely believed as fact.
It is widely believed.
Widely believed.
Like,
that they were
it's ridiculous.
That they are products of molestation. That people feel like you only go gay if you interfere with as a child.
Oh, that Ben Carson mentality.
Yeah, and this stuff is, to most people who are like progressive, they're like, ha! But they don't address it. They don't really try to educate. They just laugh it off. But it's somebody's belief that you're laughing at. And if somebody believes what they believe, you laughing at it is not going to do anything. And dismissing it as stupidity is definitely.
It's like how I tried to take on the flat earth. At first I'm like, oh, you're a lot of stupid. But then I'm like, okay, that's not how you fight people's belief.
No.
You don't fight people's belief like that. You fight people's belief by saying, okay, well, let's analyze this logistically. Let's think about this. Okay, why do more men go to jail for abusing little boys than men go for abusing young women? Because when a young lady is molested, which is horrifying, it just gets swept under the rug. Oh, well, you know, he likes little girls, or maybe she looks older than what she really is, or did you see that dress that she had on? First of all, let me tell you something. When I have a daughter, first of all, she ain't gonna see me for the first 10 years of her life because I'm gonna go master every single martial art, become Batman, and then come back and everybody that looks at my kid, I'm gonna whoop their ass. You can quote me. But this is the thing, when even my barber said this to me. He's like, oh, guys like little boys. No, gay guys like little boys. I'm like, every gay man I know literally is physically and mentally repulsed by the thought of him doing anything with a child. Because if the thought is that if you're sexually attracted to men, you have to sexually be attracted to boys. Do you like little girls?
No, sir.
Hell no. And on top of that, half these little girls trying to get people in trouble. I see these all with these Cedar Bears uniforms coming out to me saying, oh, hey, how you doing, sir? Listen. Your mama or your older sister can call me, but you better get your ass back in school.
Yeah, just like that.
Beat your children.
And that's the thing, is you gotta get that common ground, and really and truly is what's lacking. And you know what, a challenge.
We're just hitting everything all over the place today.
Yeah, before we wrap this up, it's a challenge that I really want, and it's a funny fact is that many Bermudians who oppose same-sex marriage and many Bermudians who are opposed to homosexuality actually have some friends and good friends and colleagues who are. And I feel like the challenge to you should be to keep the balance in this country. We always just don't talk about what we know we're going to disagree on, because we haven't matured enough as a people to disagree.
Oh, we definitely haven't matured at all. I'm in the House of Assembly today. I see how these politicians be going on.
Yeah,
sweet
and
baby
the
Jesus.
thing is,
some of them
you should go to your gay colleague, your gay good friend, or one of your people that you grew up with that is homosexual, and ask them, hey, why are you gay? Why are you homosexual? Like, let's have a conversation.
My friend that I mentioned earlier, my mother did that with her, and this is the thing, and this was the most beautiful conversation because my mother's very religious. And my friend, she said, hey, so when did you decide to be gay? And my friend very was like, no, Dr. Perryman, that is a very common misconception.
Yes.
Growing up, I was never attracted to boys. I always liked women. And I'm like, this is the thing. I think a lot of people, especially down here, are afraid to ask questions. Because a lot of people are afraid of confrontations that they can't win.
But not just to ask questions, but to answer questions as well.
True.
Is a big thing. Because even now, our LGBT friends, some of them are probably saying, oh, I don't want someone to walk up and just ask me about my sexual orientation because I don't feel like that's any other business. But I understand that a lot of LGBT members will say that's not any of their business. My sexual orientation is my business. But understand, you need to ask the person, are you asking me this question generally? Like, as in genuinely asking me a question in order to learn, or are you asking me to antagonize me? Because you have to advocate for your movement and for your life. It's up to you to have these conversations openly. If somebody wants to talk to you about your sexual orientation and actually wants to learn, then teach them.
And let that go both ways. Don't just let the non-gay people come into the gay people ask questions. Let the gay people go up to the non-gay people and ask, why do you think I would be attracted to children? Or why are you afraid for your children to understand what it means to be gay? Why? Because that's a big one. I heard from a lot of people, oh, I don't want these like get married because I don't want it to affect my children. I'm like, brethren, if anything, letting them get married is going to shut them up.
If anything. Children are raised by heterosexual parents.
Yeah. And on top of that, like, I would champion gay people to ask heterosexual people, well, okay, not enlightened heterosexual people, to ask them, why do you feel these misconceptions? Why do you feel that gay men are going to prey on little boys, but not lesbian women aren't going to prey on little girls? That's a big one. That's one I never understood.
Well, lesbians are more generally accepted as it is.
That's because men are attracted to women and men want the world, apparently.
Yeah, the thing is,
that's why.
Take the government out of the equation. Take the government out and start having these conversations amongst yourselves.
We don't need the government to make every conversation for us. We are capable of our own thoughts and thinking. Well, apparently
talk to each other. Talk to one another.
Talk to each other, people. Now, let's get to zero before it starts raining, because I'm going to get you home. I do? Do I say that?
You said that on the camera?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You douche. If you see us, wave to us.
Wave to us. Speak to us, but don't try to run us over.
Speak to each other, okay? This has been a type of news.
Because I think Mr. Minister Jamal Sim tried to run me over yesterday. I was not yesterday, but the other day I was walking across the camera. I was like, whoa, I'm died. But he don't like us.
So we can't end the conversation about the possible lawsuit then.
When did we ever end anything without a possible lawsuit?
Okay, it's been a type of news. I'm Dutch Pyramid.
Talk to each other.
That's Bruce Robinson. Have conversations with each other.
You can sing now?
Make each other happy. Jingle for you.